Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Humankind OpenDev Week 3. As you can see, the thing is all filled out now. This is the final scenario of this phase of the OpenDev program. I have no idea what else they might do between now and release. Like I said at the beginning of this thing, Amplitude always makes it a point to gather a lot of player feedback as things are going on, so I would be pretty surprised if there wasn't a little more to this in the future. But anyway, let's check this out. Hold the fort. Resist assault worldwide. The city of London is the pride of its people, but the Khmer and the Aztecs have joined forces to bring your beloved city down. Rally your forces and defend England from the invaders. I have not, in fact... Oh, it's probably just talking about, like, basic tutorial stuff. We know the things we know. We'll just take the new tutorials, thank you. What if the glittering city of London, crowned by Mount Vesuvius itself, was long the envy of the Aztec and Khmer empires? Seen as a powerful symbol of English hegemony, both empires wished to lay waste to the city for their own greater glory. Finally, in 1372, at a secret conclave between Emperor Ahuitzotl III and Emperor Jayavarman XII, yes, it takes me a second to convert the Roman, under an infamous banyan tree, the empires agree to work together to see London burn. Although inspired by real historical elements, that's certainly a way to describe the thing they've built here. Like I said, I think last week, the real historical scenarios may as well be fictional for me anyway. So it sounds like this is going to be more of a large-scale war, not so much defend a particular city, but maybe like actually negotiating fronts and stuff to keep the enemy army away from the city in the first place, if we can. I haven't seen any more of the combat than you guys have at this point, so I'm actually really curious about larger scale war in this system. Complaint is probably too strong of a word, but basically, my primary complaint about the move from Endless Legend to this is that the combat here, I'm worried, will not be as deep in the long run because the units are so much simpler here than they are in Endless Legend. But if the overall war system is complex enough, then adding unit complexity on top of it can just make it impenetrable, right? So depending on how they handle multiple concurrent battles near each other, battles like being able to feed reinforcements into each other and stuff, there could still be a lot going on here. Alright, the Aztec Khmer forces approach. Defend the city until your overseas armies return. Survive as long as you can, eliminating enemies when the opportunity arises. The game ends in 19 turns, and we wanna just do our best to survive. So over here we have an incoming army, 33 attack, no strength penalty from damage. Okay, not terribly interesting troops. And then we have another army on this other front, just some great swordsmen, which you've seen before. And what have we been given? It looks like a lot of our troops are longbows. So 4 attack range. We got some basic pike dudes. This is a bummer, man. These are not that exciting as far as troops go. Okay, well, we probably want to run some of these knights over. Receives bonus combat strength when attacking if not adjacent to an enemy at the beginning of the round. Do we have control over the city construction? Okay, we do. This is a full control kind of scenario. Although my suspicion is we're gonna find that we don't really want to build anything but troops. Okay, well let's bring some knights over here. I mean, can we have the archers move forward a little bit and scout the terrain? Obviously, we want to be behind our walls when they attack, but I also want to know if it's reasonable for me to just run up on these dudes, because at the moment it looks like it is. We can't quite... Okay, we can make it to here. I mean, we could have the archers engage. And just have the knights show up as reinforcements. If we can burn down their forward expeditionary force here, I think we should probably do it. Yeah, let's... So it looks like we're getting an indication that there's something over here. Hold on a second. What? We can't actually see that. So that's probably not information I'm supposed to have. But it looks like we can move down to here and then attack from there, and the... Oh no, we're still getting a glow I don't know what that glow actually means. I was assuming there was an army in this space that was going to reinforce. Here, let's attack like this. Oh no, attacking like this doesn't include our horses, though. Let's attack like this and see what happens. As far as we know, this is what they got. We have superior positioning and superior numbers of troops. We have a defended position over here. We don't get to know what they'll do first, though, right? Or we don't get to see their deployment until after we end our deployment. So maybe this is going to end up being bad. But we know they have to deploy out here, so they can't end up adjacent to anybody except the well-defended guy. All right. So let's just drop some of these dudes real fast. We probably want to come around from this side. So this is just forest. Yeah, it doesn't matter too much whether we're standing in forest or not. It doesn't give us any particular bonuses here. All right, so we run those guys down trivially, and then we probably don't want to do this from the low ground. Okay. Best to thin them out, best to not let them attack us on their terms later in the game. Alright, so that'll make that a little bit easier. I'm assuming that cost all of your movement? Yeah. Initiating combat should cost all of the movement, probably. And then we just do the same thing on this side, right? So you guys need to get far enough forward that you'll be included in the attack. So we don't actually have to move very far. I don't want to expose our archers more than we have to. So this is, yeah, that's within reinforcement distance. This is going to go a little bit less well for us because obviously our troops here are slightly less impressive, but we do have a good high ground advantage. How do we want to position for this? Maybe like that. Yeah, I'm a little worried about... There's no way for us to do this where they have to engage us from multiple positions where they have the low ground against our high ground. But here, they at least have the opportunity. My guess is they'll run somebody up there. Oh, they decided to play, like, way back, maybe. Well, I guess let's find them. Oh, wow, we can't see more than one tile away? Really? There we go. So you should have range from here, right? That's 4 tiles. And then you can do a similar thing. Oh, hey, we found the other guy. Well, that's not ideal. And you're not going to be able to do anything. Oh, yeah, this is bad. I'm assuming that's... I don't know what this is. Oh, this is a reinforcement. Yeah, they did have reinforcing units on this side. Well, that's a shame. That's going to turn out poorly for us. Yeah, see, on this side, I got all complacent because last turn we did a little scouting and it turned out there weren't reinforcements, and so I just kind of assumed it would be the same on this side, and we are being punished for that assumption. That said, I have no idea how dangerous this force is going to be as a whole to our cities. I'm assuming we can probably get a kill here. Okay, it was a trade, but it's still a kill. And then you guys have anti-cav, so let's do the attack into the low ground cavalry. And then hopefully we can finish this guy off. Because our army is for sure dead. We want to kill as many enemy units as we can here. I'm not trying to understand this move. Why do that? I guess he moved into cover, but again, there's no way this... There's only one way this battle ends, so I don't know why they don't just go for it. If they're not careful, they're going to let me kill another cavalry unit. Yeah, they're absolutely going to let me kill an extra cavalry unit for really no reason. Huh. I mean, I'll end round. It looks like we are going to get to keep a unit alive because they're really reluctant to attack knights into anti-cav, even in situations where doing so would hand them a costly victory, but a victory. So are we going to be able to... We have 6 movement, and there are roads. But actually, it looks like there's not a road that runs all the way between the 2 cities. So we're probably not going to be able to reinforce here, unless we purchase some reinforcements here. So what do I have the option of building? I can build knights, I can build pikes. We have very basic swordsmen. Definitely not ideal. We have 500 gold right now. So we could purchase a pair of longbows, but I think we want another pike. So let's... What would it cost to buy you? You are also 209. Okay. I'm going to do that. We're going to buy a small army in the city here. And those units spawn with movement. Okay, I think this force is sufficient to push those guys back, if it comes right down to it. But also, we're going to run for the walls as quickly as we can at the beginning of the next turn. So then Oxenford should probably start producing... It takes a long time to build a knight. Probably just more bows for the moment. Alright, so... I'm assuming that movement will be simultaneous. Yeah, they get to move at the same time we get to move. So let's make sure that we click the execute your movement orders quickly button. Apparently that was 100% of our move there. So they have a knight and a really damaged guy over here. We don't see any of our foes on this front. I'm not 100% sure how healing works. I don't know if we'll heal faster if we keep our units inside of our city. So I'm not 100% sure what's safe to do on this front, but I think... Let's have this group of knights push over here. They can report back to this front quickly if they need to. And we're going to have the archers just fall back to the city for the moment. Yeah, fall back to the city center. Be ready to play defense. I don't want them out in the fort alone if a group of enemies shows up. And then here we just have an outpost. We probably don't want to move our outposts around. There's probably not a lot of value in that. Alright, so we're playing as an agrarian society here. In 4 turns, we're going to accumulate enough surplus food to unlock some actions, which will allow us to create new units of population in one of our cities. Or, okay, we can't do that thing. So, I mean, that's a thing to care about, obviously. Production, we'll be able to produce more if we have more bodies. What's our food at right now? Our food's at 25, so there's no reason for this guy to be on food. We're not getting anything out of that. Sadly, 78 industry twice still doesn't help us produce the longbowmen any faster. We don't actually reduce the number of critical turns. So maybe we make a little bit more money this turn? What are we researching right now? Heavy infantry. Honestly, getting that 1 turn faster totally might matter. And then, let me see. Is there any optimization we can do over here? Our food is at 40, so... Probably what we actually ought to do... What's our stability? Okay. We can pull you off of this. We can push food up to 50 pretty easily here. Get another point of population, then use that extra point of population to push industry really hard. So 4 turns until the next point of population. I know that puts our research back down to 10 turns, but I think the extra body in the city earlier is going to be worth it. So you guys, how far over here can you get in a single turn? You could make it to their next turn. And if we did that, even attacking from here, you're not going to be in reinforcement range. Yeah. I don't know what we'll do with you. For right now, let's end the turn. We have a huge advantage if they just ride forward. Oh, here we go. I tried to tried to engage with... Apparently I have to wait for them to complete their move. You know what? Your city is besieged. Oh no. During a siege, no defender's army can move in or out of the city. Additionally, trade routes are broken, positive status is removed, exploited tiles no longer produce the resources, FIM standing for food, industry, money, and science. As the defender, you can choose between surrendering the city enduring the siege or launching a sortie, which is go out there and kick their asses. Surrender might be a good choice if you're likely to lose the city anyway, which is not the case. I think we probably just sortie, right? I can send my peasants out to fight their one unit? I mean, I know their unit's a lot better than mine, but I don't think it's that much better. Alright, we are now in the siege battle mode. Remaining militias are now available, unless they were destroyed during a prolonged siege. I will in fact stand and fight. I think we have a massive, ridiculous advantage here. I guess I could have chosen to not include the horses. And I probably should have chosen to not include the horses. Where is the bound? There we go. There are the bounds in my deployment zone. So let's get... Oh, I did not mean to click outside the battle. I meant to click those guys and move them in. It's real sensitive when you're clicking around inside your city, it seems like. It probably thinks I'm trying to select the city to change the city's orders rather than to click on to move the units around. Okay, this should be like real straightforward. He does have cover from the building, unfortunately. He gets to take cover from our building. And then we just, like... We can send our knights out to attack him, but it's pretty... In this case, I do not think it is worth spending all this health. But let's make sure that he knows that he is in danger. I don't really want to leave my units sitting in the river too. I shouldn't have moved this guy here. I was thinking we'll flank him and we'll attack, but I don't think it's worth it. Even with the flanking bonus. I don't know why it won't let me see what the attack looks like from this angle. But here we'd have the 4-point flanking bonus, and it would end up being 32 versus 42, which is still probably not worth it because we need these militia to be in reasonable shape for the attacks that we're going to see from the rest of our enemies. Oh, interesting. He rode down into the river. That seems like a spectacularly bad move. He's basically guaranteed that we get to kill him for free. Little combat AI issue there. He should have just hunkered in the fort and made us wear him down. I guess he figured he's going to die anyway, so do as much damage as possible, which is a tactic that I myself use, so maybe I shouldn't be too harsh on him. But see, by including these guys as reinforcements, I spent all of their move, which was definitely an error. So over here we have a single crossbow. Except we don't. The preview has this battle being even, which means that's definitely more than one guy. Well, let's... Oh, we're short horses. We weren't short horses last turn. Did we... Oh, our horse thing got ransacked. Our horse stable over here. Our district that was providing us horses. That's fine. We probably weren't going to build new horses anyway. The knights are just a little too expensive. And they're only 4 points of strength better, 5 points better than the pikes. Yeah. All right. We're gonna buy this dude, and then we're gonna buy another longbow, and then we're gonna engage these guys, and it should be a blowout. I'm not 100% sure what is giving them all of that combat strength. I mean, they must have reinforcements in the area, right? Where's my deployment zone is... Huh. I'm not 100% clear on why I can't... There we go. Oh, it's because I was not selecting the unit. I was selecting the reinforcement tile flag. Okay. So they have, like... They don't even have superior direct combat strength. I was going to say they have better equipment, it looks like, but we have numbers. But also it doesn't look like they have better equipment. So I don't know exactly where the enemies are, but I do know I don't want to be standing in the low ground river. Okay, yeah, make them come to us. So I can't imagine that this is going to go too well for their jaguar warriors. We should probably focus on killing the ones up on the hill, because these ones are going to be real easy to kill through. Just melee. I didn't look at that closely enough. I assume the amount of damage we did there has a lot to do with the fact that we are firing over an obstruction. Alright, just keep whittling their attackers down as they approach. Unfortunately, I've left myself unable to do that on this side. I should have been able to ride out and get these guys with my knights, but I foolishly included them in a battle. You guys... Oh, interesting. So wait, I didn't spend your move by including you in the battle. I'm not 100% sure why that's the case. Maybe it's because they were in the city? Maybe defending from city tiles is like less strenuous or something? Well, I'm a little reluctant to move them out of the city because we don't know like if there might be more attacks from the actual east. But we probably should do something to prevent this enemy from ransacking over here. I mean, it's probably not going to happen, actually. I'm not going to stress too much about it, because they have to sit here for a full turn. Like, we'll get a turn to respond. Alright, and can I move one person off of this? Are we at 50? Okay, no, there's some rounding going on. Okay, we'll leave it like that. And you guys, I think, are just going to stay exactly where you are. Are these just the battle notifications? We've been plundered. We've been ransacked. It's kind of the same notification twice, honestly. What is this thing that's really fast to build? Just food? I mean, that's not going to get us enough of a bonus to be worth diverting from troop production. So we have a lot of ranged over here. Let's build another melee body or two. Select, and yeah, you guys are good for the turn. Okay, that's exactly what I was worried about. It's a good thing we didn't move out too much. So you guys have to come forward at least to here to be part of the battle. And I think I'm not sure if the two players we're fighting can reinforce each other. If they can, this army should get reinforced by the other little army over here. I guess we'll find out. I mean, this is like an overwhelming victory. So, of course, we want to be winning these victories in a way that causes us the least damage possible. That's pretty important. So I want to make sure we're getting good use out of our archers here to deal some damage without taking any. I do not like low ground river here. Let's have actual melee units standing in those positions. You guys can be in the river, that's fine. They might deploy all the way in the back corner here, but we are not in any big hurry. It should not take us a lot of turns to kill them. Alright, these guys are real soft against attacks from the horses. And I'm assuming I can't actually attack from here. This is all open ground. Okay. Let's have some of our ranged units move up a little bit. I mean, we kind of got to get up here so that we can menace them, right? I was not thinking ahead about putting my units in the river so that we'd be able to move out of the river on the next turn. That is definitely a failing on my part here. We can approach the river through the forest, and then you'll be able to get some damage out this way. It's not great, but it's something. And to be perfectly honest, I'm not I'm not thinking that I want to move my archers forward very much more than that. Like, I do not want to present any more attractive of a target than I already do. Okay, firing into the cover. Pretty dubious play, in my opinion. Okay. Caught some ranged units out of position. Now that's got these guys all expended. We could try to strike out and eliminate one of the sources of enemy troops, potentially. See, we're not going to be able to get anywhere close to... Is this a war elephant? Is that what I'm seeing here? This army is locked into a battle. Are you sure? So it is a 42 strength gunner. That's a concern. I have worries about that. Not a ton we can do about it at the moment. I think we're allowed to have 5 units in an army. I think we should merge these two up, like, somewhere around here. I'm just going to keep them in the city for the moment. We'll merge them up right here. And we will continue to accumulate money. Hopefully be able to rush out some more units in the near future. Sorry, I want to look at this. Does it make sense for us to rush out the production of this guy right now? Probably not. These Jaguar warriors are not anti-cavalry or anything. I'm going to make sure we have reasonable movement orders for next turn already queued in so that we can just mash the get back in the city button as the turn begins. And you guys have 1 point of movement left, but honestly I don't know that I want to spend it. You're in a pretty ready position here. Alright, go, 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 go. Oh, we did not get inside the city in time. Okay. That's fine. So our city is besieged. I mean, this is a battle that we will win easily. Hold on, over here we have a less favorable battle. So the question is, do we just... no, we don't just endure, right? What is this army actually made of? 2 Jaguar warriors, 2 knights. And we, of course, have our stone walls and stuff. I think we want to get aggressive on them. Because every turn that the city is under siege is a turn where it's not building, right? Yeah, so... that seems to be the case, so let's kill some guys. Also, you know, we have lots of units. We have strength here. How do we want to position? I mean, probably you guys go on the outside. Wait, am I not allowed to deploy outside the city? No, these are my tiles. I'm allowed to deploy 1 unit outside of the city only because I actually have to. So I don't have enough city tiles for all of the units. Yeah, I don't like their superior positioning here. The high ground is a bummer. Well, we have some good anti-cav units, though. Do we want to start weakening the guy on the high ground to make his attack more survivable, or are we more focused on killing the low ground guy? I think it's the latter. Just, like, remove a unit as quickly as possible. And then, do we want to run up here? Obviously, this guy's going to take a lot of damage this way, but I'm way more worried about the knight than I am about the Jaguar warriors. Maybe that's not reasonable. Yeah, the Jaguar warriors only have 3 points lower combat strength, so maybe I'm gonna move you up here. Can you attack down? No, there's a thing in the way. Yeah, we're just gonna play defense. We have ranged units, they really don't. Oh, except this leaves one of my ranged units exposed. This guy is just gonna ride up and... do I think the walls are going to be good enough to make that okay? I guess let's test. Let's find out how bad it is. It's a thing we do need to know. Okay, yeah. The effect of the walls is quite significant, actually. Well, that rules. Let's focus the ranged units on the Jaguar warriors, because obviously our pikes are pretty good against horses. Yeah, wow, our pikes are really good against horses. Okay, and those other Jaguar warriors ran off into the darkness, but that's not actually going to work for them. I think what we want to do is end the round. Let's see if they come forward. Okay, they did. I was going to say, if they don't, we can chase them next turn. Yeah. I should move forward. And we can just put a healthy unit in front of them. Yeah, when your units are close in combat strength, the high ground bonus is, like, really brutal. Okay, he didn't even try to approach us. Well, that was perhaps an unwise siege. We took very little damage there. And how much are you guys going to heal? Okay, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Also, within your army, at least one of your units is now considered a veteran. There are 3 levels of veterancy, and each adds a combat strength bonus to the unit. So do we have a good sense of... No, he's showing 30 combat strength because the penalty for being damaged is being folded in there. So I don't exactly know how much combat strength veterancy is worth. Understood. Also, we can give him a name now. Does it say if I mouse over this? Nope, just says raises. Okay, well... We'll see later. Yeah, let's ride on these guys too, right? And I think this time we do actually want to include everybody. Confirm battle. So... Where's the border of my deployment zone? Are we... Okay. They are this away. Let's have the archers inside the walls. Obviously, that's pretty important. We'll put you guys over here to play defense. Then we have cavalry on the back line. And this single unit of peasants way over here? No, probably not. Let's swap like that. Okay. So I think we should have, again, a pretty significant advantage here. I'm hoping that the peasants heal pretty quickly. We don't really have any reason to ride out on these guys. Oh, no, that's not true. I should probably move somebody into this tile just so that they can't take it. So, do we want it to be a pike? It's probably best it's a pike, right? Because he has 31 strength and the peasants have only 27. And again, in these situations where combat strength levels are close, it makes a pretty big difference, these little bonuses. Oh yeah, we should... Hold on. We should definitely just have the knights ride on them. I know we're going to take a very small amount of damage on our knights, but it's, like, absolutely worth it. Okay, can you take this? You can indeed. And then it's like, do we want the pike to move over here? We may as well. You know what? That's probably not worth doing. I'll call it there. Okay, and then he dies to archer fire. Oh, archer's got to move forward first, and then he dies to archer fire. Oh, he survives. Narrowly survives the first volley. There we go. Okay, now we have this siege to worry about. Am I allowed to sortie on this? It looks like I am. So yeah, maybe being part of a sortie maybe doesn't take all of your movement, which is pretty handy. All right, so you guys stay back. Oh, I did that thing again where I managed to click on the city instead of. I want you to move to here. There we go. Need the archers. To be perfectly honest, that's probably all we actually have to do. But we may as well put everybody in there. Okay, so they have some great swords. They have a little bit of tree cover, which is not ideal. And our high ground is not quite offsetting it. The unit has a lot of combat strength. Well, let's start picking at it at least. And it can come over here and fight us if it wants. Yeah, we don't want to walk outside the walls. So these guys will try a thing. The walls will largely keep us safe. Wow, not that much. It's interesting because that unit doesn't read as being stronger. Like it's a greatsword. It only has 35 base combat strength. The unit that that the walls pretty much completely protected us from had a similar combat strength, I thought. Okay, well we can ride out and drop the greatswords, and I think we ought to do that. And then obviously we can high ground this thing with our knights, and I know it has good combat strength, but it's still a ranged unit. So is it better to... Hold on, let me shoot it a bunch of times. I think attacking it from down here will probably have the same result, right? Because isn't the flanking bonus the same? Like, the flanking bonus would just offset the loss of high ground. Alright, they actually, I think, did more damage to us than the last guys. Okay, so that's our estimated healing for next round. And we did spend all of your movement. We did spend all of your movement. We didn't spend yours. So yeah, it must be the units that are actually in the city don't have their movement spent. I think you guys probably are not going anywhere. And then we have these dudes who... Boy, who knows? Maybe we should think about getting aggressive? Obviously, like, it's a lot easier to avoid... it's a lot easier to avoid getting killed by an enemy who can't afford to produce any military units. And let's go ahead and hit our mother's milk. Okay, it'll be quite a few turns of food generation before we can do that thing again. And how are we doing on food in... Wait. Stagnation. Why is city reading as minus 158 food this turn? I'm actually not sure. Well, in that case, we want to keep it above -10, but we can move just enough people over to industry to get the pikemen done this turn instead of next turn. And then probably more pikes is the answer on that one. Same deal over here. Over here we can maybe use another ranged unit. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure where the extra food loss is coming from, because we were doing really well on food, like quite recently. Public order. Why is public order falling toward 4%? I know that there's a public order penalty for being under siege, we were told, but now that we're not under siege, I'm not sure why it's trending so far down. Let's end the turn here and see if these values recalculate a little bit. Nope, it's actually trending toward 4%. Okay, we see... Hold on a second. I saw movement up here. It looks like we lost them. And then they've run out 2 greatswords and one of those damn elephant cavalry artillery things. Those are bad. Those are bad for us. How do we want to manage this? Well, alright, so we're not in any great danger over there. Let's, I guess, get this done first. Let's clear the siege, and then we'll figure out what we want to do from there. So their army is just 3 units of pikes. I'm going to not include the horses, so that the horses will still have their movement after the battle. We can take that army somewhere else. Okay, so... pretty straightforward stuff. You should back up. Archers, get in here and prepare to arch. Probably you guys should be in the middle. Where do we want these guys? I don't know. Down here is fine. Yeah. I think this is reasonable. I kind of wish our city was built a little bit differently. Like, it would be really great if there was a wall there so that the unit in this tile was a little safer, but sadly, I was not asked. Nobody even consulted me in the construction of this city. Yeah, low ground, river. Bad place to be. Okay, yeah, we'll move you out of the city. Alright, they can come to us. We probably do have to actually kill them, though. Let's move you forward into this tile. Yeah, if they just refuse to engage with me, it could actually be a little bit of an issue, because we don't want the siege to continue, right? So we have to figure out where the hell they are. Does the high ground tile provide... No, it does not provide any additional vision. It was worth checking, I think. So we're going to ride out a little bit, which is going to make us vulnerable, but it also might allow us to draw them out. Yeah, I'm going to end your turn on the river, even though that's pretty dangerous. Listen, I'm not trying to say that you're not important to the war effort, but... Alright. Next turn we can probably push forward and reveal the rest of the tiles if we need to. Okay, they were drawn out. And I mean, like, listen, if we lose a unit of peasants, it's not that big of a deal, really. So we rain death on these pikes. And then, do I want to move a unit forward, even? I think I'm going to move these guys back, actually. I'm kind of curious what will happen if we just end the turn. Will they move? They will move in to the low ground and attack us. I guess they were figuring we have the river penalty, so they did do more damage than we did. But, you know, at a cost. Okay. The city is not sieged. Objectively not sieged. We're still only trending toward 11%. But our food is back to growth, at least. We are probably going to have to assign a person back over here. I mean, we need to get that number above 30%. Which we cannot do, it looks like. So when we get underneath the 30% threshold, I don't remember exactly what happens, but it's probably not going to be good. Boy, I guess we'll find out. So now we have the question, can we push back to 50? I don't think so. We have 6 slots, which would allow us to gain 24 food. So we want to keep it above 10. So we probably have to leave that guy there. And I think there's an important question to be asked about scientific progress. How much do we want to focus on science? It's pretty important that we get our... that's going to make it only 4 turns. I do want the better troops. Yeah, let's do it like this. We'll max out science here. We'll get that done in 4 turns, and then... Does it say how expensive they are? It does not. Can I... On the text screen, does it give me a little more info? Still no, actually. It does say they take 2 iron. Do we have that? Yes, right now we do. If we were to lose this outpost, things would get bad in a hurry. So, for the moment, that's fine. For the moment, we're not in any danger of losing that. Okay, so you guys did lose your movement. You guys kept your movement as before. What do we want to do with our cav? Do we want to move them into the city so that they can run out and respond after battle the same way these guys can? Or do we want to move them over to the other front, where it looks like we might need a small amount of assistance? How far can they get this turn? The river. The river's a problem. I wish we knew how to build bridges. I wish we had built some bridges at some point. Alright, I'm going to ride across. Oh. Interesting. Alright, well my plan is going to be... Oh, what is that maneuver? Oh, there's no way up this cliff face. I guess I just assumed that our people had been more competent than to... Okay. That's a real problem, actually. That means the knights are not going to be able to reinforce this front anytime soon. Like, at all. Okay, so get back in the city next turn. Not wild about that. And then on this one, I don't think we want to ride out. I don't think that's a good idea. I think we need to stay put. I'm going to buy this longbow. We're going to start building another longbow. So you guys are good. You guys are good. Is there like a defensive stance? No, there is not. Remove forest from a tile in exchange for an industry boost. I don't necessarily want to remove a lot of our forest now that we know they're attacking with ranged units and everything. I think we'll hold on. We're not having trouble producing stuff, really. Let's see how they move. That's not a big surprise, although apparently their besieging force is actually way more powerful than it looks. I'm assuming they have a lot of reinforcements that we cannot yet see. Well, I mean, there's no sense in not riding on them. I guess the only way we wouldn't want to not ride on them is if we push this battle off and then we ride these horses to that space, we can have them serve as reinforcements, and that's probably actually going to be pretty relevant. So let's not include the horses in this battle. Let's do this thing to free the horses up to move away, because they'll no longer be in the battle zone. And you are still healing. You gotta stay off the front. Let's give our archers the high ground. I want the pikes close to the battle, but not necessarily right up in front. Okay, we're not doing a huge amount of damage to either of them, sadly. Well, I'm pretty sure it doesn't make any sense for us to move forward on them. You can just sit here and benefit from the walls. Yeah, man, we are not really benefiting from the walls. The walls are not doing anything. So he does have the high ground right there, but we can fix that. I think we probably need to get this done. So it looks like each point of veterancy is a single point of combat strength. Alright, you step up here, and then here we have flanking on top of all of the anti-cav. So that's pretty great. Unfortunately, they're just going to high ground us again. I think I'm going to put the injured pikes up here to prevent them from being able to do that. And then actually also, we do a ton of damage. Alright, we are losing people here. The attrition is real. This guy is obviously mega dead. But we're losing peasants all the time. The walls only help so much. The city's on the low ground and there's a river tile running through it. There's a river running through there. I really like the decision to make rivers a serious defensive liability. Because rivers provide so much value to cities, you have some really interesting decisions to make when city building. about the value of a river versus the danger that it poses to your ability to keep the city. Alright, so we'll just ride up into reinforcements here. And then have at them. Okay, so we have no idea where they're going to position. It's a pretty large battlefield. Yes, I want this army to engage in this battle. Wait, how do I pull the units out of it? Do they have to have a one of one army selected? Okay, I guess we're going to have them actually path from there. I was kind of hoping that it was going to let us cheat that a little bit. Alright, so how do we want to position for this? We probably want an archer in this space because the space is cliffed from below. Man, this is gonna be a little harrowing. Alright, I'm gonna put an archer here with the intention of moving one of those archers up to there immediately. Yeah. This is scary. You start you guys over here so that you can attack from the high ground more likely. Okay. So, they have tree cover. Not a big surprise that they would play in the tree cover. And we should probably let these dudes just have it. Right, anybody who can attack the guys in the crossbows on the low ground needs to do so. And then we need to figure out... Oh, clicked outside the battle. Oof. It turns out elephants don't count as cavalry. Who would have thought? Yeah, this thing is just a huge problem. What a good unit. Okay, yes, we do have to have these guys path into the battle. That's a shame, but it's still definitely worth having them here. I was really hoping the game was going to let us just teleport them up the cliff. You know, put them in the horse evader. So is this... This is a reinforcement group. For somehow. I'm not really 100% clear on this. So are they going to be able to ride units out of this space? Stand here and make that... I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with that. Alright, you guys can run forward and fire. I think we just have to put a lot of arrows into this guy. Whittle him down bit by bit and then attack him with whoever can get melee attacks on him. And even though he is a ranged attacker, we are going to suffer because his base combat strength is real high. Alright, well, pikes from this tile... Oh, man, that's still horrible. Yeah, pikes on the greatswords, not so good either. Well, we can run over to here and at least have tree cover. I mean, we're going to be taking river crossing penalties, though. It is ugly. It is an ugly situation. There's not really a good way to deal with this. Yeah, I guess let's just have... We can't get onto the high ground on this side. That's interesting, though. We can push around over here and threaten... Oh, no. Never mind. No, we can't. Wow, you're gonna get murdered by crossbows in close combat. That's very embarrassing. Shoot. And it spent all of your movement to find that out. Crud. Well, I see no reason to actually do the attack. In this case, we're just going to expend a lot of our own strength for no benefit. Let's move you guys around to here. 5 to 15 damage. Yeah, we're not going to reduce their shooting ability by enough to make it worthwhile to actually launch that attack. And then you probably don't want to step outside the wall. I mean, I kind of want to block for my archers. Yeah. But I won't actually attack. And the cavalry are coming. They'll get here eventually. Okay, I appreciate them shooting into the trees. Seems like it didn't make much of a difference. Okay, yeah, we gotta move these peasants out of here and get a real melee unit in. Okay, those guys we can probably punish real bad for that positioning. Yeah, that's a huge error. These peasants need to get the hell out of the way. Can they kill the crossbows? No, they cannot. Can we do some real damage to these guys? No, not really. We are not allowed to harm them. I think we'd probably better do this. We're still going to be doing pretty bad damage against this guy. I think we got to try to shear off as many of these other ranged units as we can. How close can the horses get? The horses can make it onto the river this turn. I'm still not 100% clear what's going on with this. I mean, it looks like it... My interpretation of what's happening here is that there's a 3-army reinforcing unit that is just not getting to play because we're standing on its spawn tile. Which obviously, if I'm reading that correctly, means we should not get off of that tile. And we can't get a horse onto that tile this turn either, because the horses will get stopped by the river no matter how we do this. So unfortunately, this unit doesn't even make it to the river this turn. These guys can travel down the river next turn, which will be very helpful. You could run forward and kill these crossbows, which we probably ought to do. And then you guys can probably finish that job. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the best move is with the rest of these guys. I think... Let's do this with you. Get that unit really, really weak. And then... It's like a very, very small amount of damage either way, but I guess this unit is the more dangerous one. The one we want to die more quickly. And it's going to be a long process with him. I think they're doing a really good job of wearing us down. We're going to have a hard time maintaining this, this pace of defense. Fortunately, they don't have anything that's like specifically anti-cav. So once the horses get over here, they will be really helpful. Oh, there's my veteran unit of pikes. They have even more stuff still. Okay. So we don't really want these peasants to do anything. This is so helpful. This is real good. Okay, these are pikes. These have to get shot to death. That's pretty important. No pikes against the knights. Okay, that aside, we're mostly looking at greatswords. No, there is actually another pike unit. Let's drop these guys. And then probably shoot those guys. We can reduce their damage potential by a considerable amount. You can make it pretty far over here, but I don't exactly know what you'll find when you do so. I mean, plan on this. Oh, it's a lake. I found a lake. Well, I believe there's something about standing on the enemy flag. I think you do bonus damage when you're on the enemy flag or something. Or not bonus damage, rather, but you give some kind of negative effect, I think. And then, what do we want to do here? This feels pretty bad. That's better. Yeah. I'm fairly confident we can handle these guys on the next turn. And then the only unit that still doesn't have orders yet is those peasants who are never going to move. Because how much help would they actually be if we let them over into the battle proper anyway, right? Okay, the walls are helpful, but only so helpful. Wow. Wow, that sucks. Alright, right, all the way over here. That's still very bad. Yeah, these, it's possible that these elephants are too effective. Here, you have a better shot on these guys. But not a good enough shot. Let's see here. So I could fall back to here. The tile is still walled, right? Yeah, it is still walled. So it'll cost the enemies an entire turn of movement to enter it. So you can fall back to here and then just finish that dude off. Yeah, this is really awful. We are never going to be able to kill these damn elephant units. Well, okay, you have to get out of the lake. I don't know that it helps that much. And if you attack, you're basically giving them a free attack by attacking yourself. Okay, and then you just shoot at the elephant, I guess. One day we'll kill it. Oh, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to end the combat turn. I'm so used to end turn being down there in the bottom. Yup. Oh, huh. I thought it took an entire. I thought what we learned in the siege tutorial last time was that it takes an entire turn for a unit to. I guess it can enter and then attack. It just couldn't have moved out of this space. Well, that's not a big deal, I don't think. So this is very easy. And then you, I guess, just run away? I don't know where you run away to. Friendly controlled capture point. So it is called a capture point. I'm still a little unclear on... Oh, there's an additional unit that is in my way. Well, we get to do something. Okay, we are going to get to kill some stuff over on this side. Let's... Oh, well, first of all, let's do this. We know we want to do this. Get that high ground shot. You guys back up to here and also get a high ground shot. The elephant is not that close to dead. We can kill these guys, though, between our two remaining archers. Okay, and then... that's it. Okay, that guy's gonna fall back. We're still in the trees, which helps a little bit. And that is this turn for this battle. So we've finally had one extend over multiple turns. So the city is still producing, it looks like. But we can't... Okay, we can interact with it by clicking on this. Okay, so the city is still producing. We can just buy ourselves another longbow, which I think we should probably do. Another unit for the battle next turn. And then over here... I kind of don't think we can afford to move anybody over. Like, even though these guys have movement, London is under attack so frequently. I think it would be foolish to leave. Alright. So there's 13 turns left in the scenario. We have 8 turns to generate a new population point at this rate, or... No, now we're back to... Huh. We're back to super high food growth. I wonder if we were losing the food for the tiles that the enemies were occupying? I don't know. It's not updating as clearly as I would like. So, how fast can we get to the ability to produce... Oh, no, we're actually science capped, right? Okay, 3 turns until we can produce our own greatswords, which would certainly be helpful. Huh, is this... This outpost is exploiting, right? I was just noticing, this city doesn't say it has any iron, and this city only says it has 1? But I'm assuming we do still have this. Is there a... Okay, yeah, up here in the top right, it does confirm we have the 2 iron necessary to build the knights, or the greatswords. Okay, I'm gonna not move the units from this city, and I guess we're done then? We bought the units in Oxenford that we can afford to buy. Okay. New round. Let's... I mean, if we kill this greatsword, our knight is dead. There's not really any two ways about that. I could back off and attack from here, and that way at least we have, like, forest in the... Maybe he won't be able to see us. Maybe he'll forget we were here. I do not have a strong hope that this will actually work. Let's step an archer up to here so we're not firing from the low ground. Can you... You're out of range, aren't you? Oh no, you're just barely in range. There's a whole -2 combat strength from being heavily damaged. Okay, 1 elephant down. Finally. And then you... Yeah, I guess you move forward to here? It's not good damage, but it is damage. And you move forward onto the river so you can charge past next turn. Ah, high ground, stupid elephant. Alright, well, we get our charge bonus. Is it enough to make it make sense to attack? No, not really. The elephant is just a truly terrifying opponent. Well, in that case, maybe actually what we should do is have everybody fall back. I don't want to be under siege anymore, but... Yeah, I captured his capture point. That'll show him, maybe. I'm not not 100% certain, but I think maybe. You may as well shoot him. And really, you just have that shot, huh? It's remarkable what a little bit of math will do for you. Cannot get to a position where you have the shot. Yeah, you have 6 range. So wait, does veterancy confer range on... It just says increased range. Unit class gives base 3, longbow gives +1, and then +2 for increased range. You do not have increased range. Nor do you. So is it a benefit that I'm receiving from that tile? Alright, we'll get over here. We'll put ourselves in position, I guess, to maybe eventually threaten the terrifying elephant man. I don't know what having this capture point is actually doing for us. Certainly doesn't seem to be conferring a combat strength penalty, does it? Yeah, I think, like, critically, he doesn't seem to care about the fact that we have it, so that suggests that it's not really a big deal. Let's get some high ground. And then, I mean, does he need to stay on it? It doesn't look like it even still exists anymore. Maybe this is what would prevent them from having... this is what would prevent them from having reinforcements come in. I mean, we could spend some health from our knights, but I don't know that we really want to. In terms of maintaining a long-term combat force, I think it's maybe unwise. Let's just run away. Okay, the control point is still there. Yeah, he extremely does not care about it. Oof. 83 damage. My dude, you have cover. Just like... Pretend that your cover does anything. He does have a height advantage on us, though. Well, now I have a height advantage on you, so how about... No, you don't care. You don't care. Too much elephant. Too much elephant to be concerned about height advantage. And I think we want to just keep these guys fresh until the thing is at even lower health. I mean, it's at pretty low health now. We might actually be able to kill it. Okay. Finally. That was very difficult to repel. And it did absolutely require those horses. We would have lost that battle otherwise. Oh dear. Well, I think survive as long as you can has maybe come to an end. It's looking like it's getting a little harsh out here. Let's see. We could maybe disrupt their access to copper. I don't actually know which units require copper. Like, if we did that. Oh, there's a more detailed battle thing. Okay. That's useful. If we knew which units required access to copper, doesn't look like any of the units that we're really familiar with. So running over there and denying them their copper probably doesn't accomplish anything. No construction in progress. Let's make some... We're going to need some melee. We're going to need some more range too, but... We are going to need bodies in general. Okay, you guys are, I think, good exactly where you are. Probably we should merge up at the very least over here. Oh, right. This army didn't attack this turn, so actually we can put them inside the city so that they will have movement. Okay, now they're good. And you guys, I think, are also good. So this is just 5 Jaguar warriors. I mean, I'm not happy about it, but it's certainly a lot better than it being a whole mess of elephants. And it looks like our healing per turn is when we're outside of the city is roughly comparable to when we're inside of it. Doesn't seem like we pay a big price. Okay, what's this siege look like? 191 to 1. I do wish that it showed their army first instead of just showing the trebuchets. 3 great swords against a reasonable defense here. We can buy ourselves another one of these guys. Let's rush that construction. We're probably going to want archers next. All right. Let's have at them. The horses will probably be pretty helpful here. Probably should have those guys up there. Yeah, I think that makes sense. So first things first, just let one of these dudes have it as thoroughly as possible. And then... Actually, do I even want to move the horses out? I don't think we're going to need to. I'm going to leave the horses right where they are. I didn't want to expose them too much. Now that those guys have moved in a little bit, I think... Oh, they actually... This stuff's not part of the battle this time, so they're just not allowed to move. Well, that's probably not how that should work. Okay, easy enough. And then I'm going to back you guys up. What is the right way to do this? Because obviously I don't want the pike to just get attacked from the side. I think probably the thing to do is just swap these two. Which I guess I can't do. Alright. I'm going to do it like this. This allows them to move into here and then attack the peasants from inside the walls, but I don't think that... Like, I want to defend the pike's health more than the peasant's health. Okay, and they just chose not to do the thing anyway. Didn't even want to come down into the valley. Alright, so unfortunately we spent the movement of these horses for nothing, for no benefit at all. So there's an enemy army in this tile then, right? Because I think this is the only tile we don't actually have vision of over here. It's 5 jaguar warriors. Do we want to try to ride on them? Here, we can buy out this longbow. Do we want to try to ride on them with 4 pikes, or 3 pikes and 4 archers? Yeah, probably, right? Because the terrain over here is so constricted, we can get a lot of shots in without a ton of melee taking place, I think. And actually, the horses... No, the horses do not get to be part of the battle. Oh yeah, they do. They might not be allowed to join because they already participated in a battle this turn, but... Oh no, they're allowed to. Yeah. Okay, so, obviously, this is not an acceptable layout. Give me these guys. So we have no idea exactly how they'll position. But we do know there's no way down from the cliffs. So, like, one guy there pretty much prevents them from... Yeah, we do like this. This prevents them from being able to get to our archers, and we can have a bunch of people up on the high ground safely. Am I allowed to pull... Nope, these guys are during the battle only, it looks like. So we don't really want you down here. Okay, and then we don't have to pull the horses at all if we don't want to. We can just leave them in there. So there is not a greater high ground bonus for firing further down. Let's just chop some of these dudes up real fast. And then, honestly, the way things are positioned here, we don't even have to do it like this. Here, you can move to here. You can move to here. We can always have the high ground or our walls. And yeah, we don't get the horses involved. Oh, no, it spawned that unit either way. Well, it looks like they don't care, so it's fine. The river's going to keep them from attacking, really, anyway. Yeah, this is horrible terrain for them. This really, really didn't work. Oh, that's a little too far. You finish these guys off, then. You just kill him, and we can have you get the killing blow on that guy. Or, honestly, we can just have you back up. Have somebody else take the killing blow on that guy. It's best to spread damage over your units for the purposes of replenishment. Each of the units in your army replenishes like 10 hit points a turn. It's way better to have 4 people with 10 damage each on them than 1 person with 40. Okay, easy. I appreciate those guys being so bad at their jobs. You guys should probably just merge up. And then let's make more bows. It kind of seems like bows are the right way to go over here. We have enough bodies, I think, already for melee purposes. So we're 2 turns off of having our tech. In fact, we could probably pull almost... We were so close to finishing that in 1. Do we see new enemies? No, it seems like we might have exhausted them for the moment. Well, I want you guys moving back into the city. Yeah, we've earned ourselves a small reprieve in the force. Yeah, just wait, I guess. Continue to produce units, and over here in Londinia, we can pull our science crew. Is there anything else to research? I mean, Furnace Steel is unlikely to finish. So yeah, we're done with science now. Production. Make more units. Sorry, let's grab 3 bodies over here for super growth, and we were so close to finishing this. Look at the tiny, tiny little bit that's left. Yeah, I think that's a reasonable thing to do for right now. So you guys are good. You guys are good. The horses are in kind of an awkward spot right here, and they don't get to participate in a pretty significant number of battles. I am actually going to move them over here. We don't have vision of this area, and that makes me a little nervous. What's going on in this mountain? Oh, okay, it's... I thought there were stairs carved into it, but it's just like natural striations. Man, game graphics are pretty. Alright, this gives everybody a turn to just like heal and produce. We now know how to do a heavy infantry. What does this unlock? +1 unit slot available in each army. That's pretty good, actually. Yeah, wow, it looks like maybe... I don't want to speak too soon here, but maybe the enemy ran out of units. So these guys are 4 combat points or 4 strength points better than the pikes, which is significant. You know, you've seen very small differences in combat strength, given the way the game systems work, end up being pretty significant. Oh, you should be on industry. And you know what? We'll buy the end of that guy out. Let's have you explore the river a little bit. I mean, if they're going to be in one city, instead of bouncing between the 2, this is the city we want them in, right? Because the other city is way more capable of constructing more dudes. Okay, most of our troops have healed to full at this point. Like, we're looking okay. I don't know. Work on Furnace Steel or whatever. It's not going to complete. We're fine. Okay. Population gain continues. Are we on super growth? No, and we're not likely to get to super growth either, so we can relocate a bunch of people over to other stuff. Yeah, there we go. I think that makes sense. We'll get some great swords out here as fast as we possibly can. For the moment, everything seems fine. I mean, maybe we do go on the offensive. Let's merge these 2 armies up and go looking for trouble. If we can destroy some of their stuff, you know, we might. Well, I guess merging the armies up is a little unrealistic given the differences in move speed. But I'm gonna scout a little bit here. We're gonna see if maybe it is possible for us to make some trouble. Maybe steal some resources. Maybe pillage a thing. I guess we could have just stood there and ransacked. That probably would have been smart. Can we see any of... No, their stuff's real far away. I'm going to just leave these 2 armies exactly where they are. And maybe I'll end up regretting this ride out and look for stuff idea. But it kind of seems like we might have just gotten rid of all their troops. I mean, I'm glad. We were real close to being out. Ransack. Give me that gold.
Stay together. Will do.
Can we... Oh, it's not like a real city. It's an outpost. So we can also ransack this then. And you guys are just gonna stay back and play defense. We may have effectively beaten the scenario. I think that is in fact the case. Look at all the money. We could buy so many troops now.
Forward.
Oh wait, we found their units. Let's over here purchase ourselves some stuff. We could have somebody come out and re-outpost this area, and probably we should get the ability to build knights back. But it turns out ransacking is worth a lot of money, so you get your units put back together pretty quickly. And I mean, as long as we hold London, we win, right? Oh, the settlement spawn location is too full to produce additional troops. Yeah, let's queue up some additional troops then. Here, we'll do it like that. So you guys probably shouldn't ride quite so far forward. I'm gonna back up. We're gonna merge. We can't merge right now, but we will merge next turn. I'm assuming that they give you the amount of time they give you in this scenario because the battles could, if you were a little bit less murderous, the battles could stretch out over multiple turns. And so let's see, we can just have you come down here, and it costs money to build an outpost. What are we looking at? I would like to build an outpost, I don't know, right here? 225. Okay, so next turn. Yeah, just wait there then. We might actually be able to just defeat them, honestly. I'm going to start up the siege. We're going to maintain... let's build the ballistas. See if they will let us build the ballistas. You guys are good right there. Idle, idle. Okay. Oh, I should probably be, like, pressing the population button. You can tell I've sort of relaxed. I'm no longer as concerned about maximizing. Sure. So you can't build it... Okay, you can't build it on top of a resource. I mean, it doesn't much matter where we build it. Okay, so how many turns does that take? 2? Okay, and then here, our ballistas are complete. There's not really a lot of reason for us not to just go on them now. They won't lose a member of their militia until after the game's over, so let's just take the city. This is what I think of you guys. So do ballistas... It doesn't look like ballistas actually care about direct line of sight. They don't have different text than the trebuchets had when we had the trebuchets in that one scenario. So I'm going to assume direct line of sight doesn't actually matter. That these things are only cosmetically different from our old siege engines. And we'll just put them in places where they don't really have direct line of sight. They could start something right here, which is not 100% ideal. And we'll swap the pikes there. Okay. Oh no, they probably have to start inside the city, even though that area is technically inside their, technically inside of their deployment zone. Well, I mean, we just shoot the front tiles. And then we rain arrows down on... The pike is certainly the most dangerous thing, but also we can't really do a lot of damage to it. We'll just get our own pike inside the city walls. Yeah, I don't feel the need to finish you off. Wait, are these both pikes? I thought they only had... Okay, no, that one's not. Yeah, weird, it's just not showing me Oh, it's not showing me a combat preview for this because that's Cliff. We actually couldn't even perform that attack that way. Alright, you come here. You can perform the attack this way. And then apparently I can do this. And we just won't bother to attack the pikemen directly. But I will take this spot over. Okay, he did the thing that we basically assumed he would do, and then we shot him with many ballistas. Turns out, siege engines, pretty powerful. Really good idea not to let your enemies build them. Okay, so we've taken over the city of Angkor, and all of a sudden, we're in a lot less danger than we were before. It is occupied by us. This is a process, I think. We don't actually get the ability to build stuff in here for a little while. I do not know exactly how it works, and obviously even the way it works here in this scenario is not necessarily the way that it actually works. Can you... Okay, it's going to take you a turn to move over there. I mean, let's start moving toward the Aztec city? See no reason not to. Yeah, something like that. Something like that is the plan. Boy, the rivers have really interesting implications for your movement. I actually think this river system is really cool. Here, you should join up with those guys. And then, we don't yet have the horses, so we still can't queue up the construction of knights. So let's... another one of those dudes. Yeah. You guys, I guess, scout ahead as best you can. I would really, really like to be able to build knights. I should have sent somebody out to recover the horses earlier. Okay, so that has given us access to the horses. We got volunteers. Hey, it's a free greatsword unit. Wonderful. All right, and now we got horses again. We can start building some horses. I guess there was not really a good way for us to do this. Everybody has to end their turn on a river tile. Right, it's gonna make way more sense for us to build horses from now on in the cities because these are the units that are going to be able to catch up with the advancing front. You guys just go fast. Don't ask me for orders every turn. Just give everybody a couple turns worth of movement orders here. You should probably just merge up with those guys, actually. Here we have a new dude. We don't get to reach them, sadly. But I have no doubt that we would have gotten there because it doesn't seem like they're actually building stuff. I think they were just placed to give you a general idea of the positions the enemies would be coming from. Could we have done that in 20 turns if we had realized early enough that they were definitely not going to send more stuff, that we had survived the assault and they were out of men? Maybe. I think it's entirely possible. And I think that is going to be it for us for today and for this phase of Humankind OpenDev. I hope that you guys have enjoyed getting to look at the mechanics a little bit. I hope that some of you got into the system and got to play around with it yourself. And if you did, make sure that you fill out your little feedback things. I forgot to do mine just now, but that's fine. I'll go back in and I'll go back in and hit it. So, that's going to be it for us for Humankind for the moment. But I'm going to be keeping my eye on this thing. Every single time there is any new information, any kind of thing to play, we will be playing it. So, check back here periodically for more. And we'll see you then.